India shining has been the unofficial slogan for India since the turn of the 21st century. But pardon me for saying so. The shining and shimmering seems to have reduced at present, for everything that glitters is not gold. Greeting friends, Indians, and foremostly countrymen. I ask you to lend me your ears as I make use of this opportunity granted to me today by the Youth Parliament. The topic on the floor states, governance is the main reason for India's economic slowdown. And I, Abhik Chatterjee, am here today to speak out and firmly support the motion. India is in the midst of its worst economic slowdown since 1991. Many reasons for it. Sluggish growth, declining investor sentiment, high current account deficit, rising inflation, low GDP, and foremostly a depreciating rupee value, something that we all know about. All of these have conspired to send the economy into the doldrums. Now let me deconstruct the argument for you by providing you with some points as to why I feel that governance is the hand that is upsetting and not rocking India's economic crib right now. Point number one, with the dollar skyrocketing upwards, breaking new records almost every single day, it's putting huge pressure on India's imports, especially oil. This in turn will lead to increase in prices of basic commodities. The government of India's economic policies have done nothing but capture vote banks, and they're doing nothing to resolve this issue. This will put pressure on the Indian middle class, and this will put extreme pressure on the millions of poor Indians who will be unable to afford basic commodities. Point number two, corruption. Indian politicians will now have to build a separate cost factor for corruption, which has crossed an acceptable level a long, long time ago. It's making it impossible for us to compete in a global economy. Monthly bribes to excise, labor and sundry inspectors, income tax officers, service tax auditors, politicians, and last but not the least, bureaucrats collectively make up something like a staggering 20% to the cost of any Indian product. How on earth do you expect to have a burgeoning economy with corruption acting like a greedy suction cup? Point number three, burden of vote-earning politics and bills. The government has always made bills and schemes that are huge and need billions of dollars. For example, the food security bill is going to cost the government something around $22 billion annually. This will increase the high subsidy burden and worsen government finances. Point number four, and my last point, more reliability in foreign investment. If the government would have made policies and plans that would have helped support local businessmen and young entrepreneurs, we would have not been in the state we are now today. Instead, we are begging in front of foreign ventures to come and invest in India. I hope my points have added a semblance of support to the motion. It is now time to wake up and smell the bitter coffee, my countrymen. And I'll end with a thought-provoking quote for all of you by Coco Chanel. The most courageous act you can do for yourself is to think, but aloud. I hope I've hit the nail on the head. Thank you so very much.